Les just brought a question to me that they said they were talking about, a group of people were talking about was, when you meet a stranger, you know, how is it possible to have that holy instant with them in that moment that you meet them for the very first time, and if you want to give that meeting and that encounter and that relationship over to the Holy Spirit and have it be a holy relationship from the moment that you meet them for the rest of your life, how would you go about that? That was the question. Meeting them as if for the first time and then having it be a holy relationship. So the first part of it is that when you meet people and you perceive them, the meeting through the ego's lens, it's not as if they are strangers to you in the sense that people are like partial memories. And actually we'll have a movie that will explain this and demonstrate this a lot better than I will with words. It's called Solaris, which we have, if you have a chance to be here for the movie, I believe it's on Friday? Tonight's movie. Yeah, tonight's movie. So that will help answer that question in terms of meeting them for the first time, because people are like partial memories, and so whenever you meet someone, it's like you're not seeing them whole. You're just seeing them from the memory that you gave to them. You know, it's like pulling from the past, the pool of the past, and just seeing whatever you still have back in the pool that you're still pulling from. So to meet them in the holy instant, which is really what the question was, would be as best as you can is to meet them without bringing any meaning from the past into the encounter. Because of all, you know, how they talk about first impressions and kind of those immediate judgments and reactions, almost like ego is sizing them up as soon as you approach them. It's like looking at them, and it's like using all of its past memories to kind of find a little place to put them in some category. You know, do they look like they're whatever, liberal or conservative, or do they look like they're full of energy or lazy, or, you know, it's just doing a quick kind of size-up job so that for its own safety and security, it's like, oh, I can peg you, I can pigeonhole you, I know you, and then that's like part of the first impression that does linger, you know, that basically is part of shaping how you see the person in subsequent encounters. You know, it's always going back to that thing as a reference point. And that's because basically the ego has peopled the world, and so the people are acting out many different aspects of separation. And that's why there's, Jesus is saying, you made all of these special relationships, and now you have to give them over to the Holy Spirit to be purified, so that you can learn to have a holy relationship. And what is a holy relationship? First we said, if you can meet them without bringing the past into the encounter, that would be an expression of the holy instant. It's like meeting them fresh, new, in the spontaneous moment, you know, clean, clear, not tarnished and tainted in any way from the past. And then holy relationship would be giving that relationship over to the Holy Spirit to be used in purpose. So what does that look like? How does that feel? It's really a question of expectations. All expectations that are placed onto the relationship are coming from the ego and from the self-concept. So this is how the special relationship, the dynamics of the special relationship come into play. It's as if the ego is saying, you are not a worthy self, you know, you are not whole and complete yourself, you are incomplete, you are lacking, and therefore, if you can find another to partner with, it's like sometimes when you trade in a car, when you go to a car dealer and you give your current car as the trade-in, and then you get the sparkling new car, the latest version with more gadgets and so on and so forth. And you drive off the lot in your sparkling new car, and you leave the old car behind. In one sense, that's kind of an illustration of how the ego tries to work with relationships. Oh, there you are, poor, pitiful, single you, lonely, desolate, and then you go to the relationship dealer and you say, I'd like to trade this single model in for a couple model, because it will be much more intimacy, and it will be much better, I'll be much happier with the couple model. And so the mind tries to make a trade, as if, okay, I'm going to give up something that is not so worthy for something that is more worthy. But it's still it's still on the ego's playing field, it's still the ego's game, where it's kind of like trading a self for another self, trading a self for a better self. People would tell you, even when you're growing up, it's like, oh, you'll fall in love someday, you'll find a partner, and this and this and this. Your mom, are you married yet? And I want a couple model instead of a single model. I'm counting on having a couple model because I want grandchildren, and I want a family model. I'll trade that in as a couple model for a family model.